Alright, you guys. This life and stuff, I'm back. It's been a while. I've been really busy. Me and Brendan's going to do us a video today. Today we're going to do, I guess, my book knife book knife collection. There you go. So, we're going to pause and break away for a second, and we'll come back with the first knife. Okay, we're back. Alright. We're going to start with what I consider my favorite knife of all time. I've had Benchmades, I've had Shrades, I've had Zero Tolerance, I've had all these knives. But I always, over the years, come back to one knife that I carry every single day, no matter what. It's always with me. It's been with me for years and years and years. So, let's talk about this. Alright, can you get up closer? You're a long way back there.
I can zoom in.
Okay.
Zoom in, like, right on the sheath?
No, just kind of get a little closer. You don't have to be able to see my nose hairs here, but...
Or your head's in frame.
Okay.
Right there. That's
okay.
Perfect.
Alright. Everybody knows this knife. Everybody in the world that knows anything about anything knows this knife right here. This is a buck 110. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, I carried these in the Army. I've carried them for years and years and years, and they've never let me down. Now, that being said, I have broke several of them. I have broken the hinges, the pins, and I have tipped. I don't know how many of them that I've tipped. Okay? These can be broken.
I have broken one of the springs in it.
Yeah. These can be broken. So... But even that being said, this is the best everyday stuff I use, Eric, knife around. This is it. This is the one I carry every day. I think this is like a 2010 or 11 or something like that. We've got some 70s models floating around the house somewhere. You know, just different. I've got a bunch of them. I have several of them. This is my number one go-to for everything that needs done. This is. Right there. This is just the sheath. The belt loop crapped out, so I've cut it off and fixed this. Put me a new piece of leather on there. I'm with you, Eric. When the back of this thing crapped out, I took your idea and I moved everything up to where it carried like the old ones did. Man, that makes a world of difference. It feels like an old friend's back on your hip with it sitting down a little lower. Because the way they make them now, it's right here at the top. You see the top here? That's where it sits. So it rides real high up on your belt and digs into your fat belly and all this other stuff. Which makes for a rough day. Hey, we're all getting older here. We all got, Dunlap disease. It Dunlapped over a little bit. But this is my number one. This is it. The Buck 110. 428C steel, 3 3/4 inch blade. 5-inch handle, lock back. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I've done, I don't know, I've cleaned fish. I've skinned deer. I've cleaned rabbits. I've cut 2x4s. I've dug splinters out of my hand. Everything gets done with this knife right here. Cut potatoes, peel onions. It doesn't matter. This knife does it. Okay? All right, that's the number one. That is number one. We're going to break away and we're going to come back with another one. Okay. The next knife up on the list, this is the Buck 102 Woodsman. Okay? I like this little dude. Brendan likes this little dude, I think, a little better than I do. Look at this little guy. That is an awesome little blade, man. Now, I left the 110 up here for a reason. Now, they make a new one. It's called the 101. I don't want it. It's a Buck 110, but it's a fixed blade. I don't want that thing. It looks gimmicky to me. They've messed with perfection. Don't mess with perfection. Leave it alone, Buck. If you're listening, leave it alone. Leave the 110 alone.
Yeah.
You don't need to make this better. Leave it alone. Okay? All right. Now, you see how dainty and small this little guy is?
I love it.
To me,
it's like an inch away.
You gotta line up the blades. This has a 4-inch blade. This has a 3 3/4-inch blade. But look at the thickness difference. This is a much beefier blade. It's wider. I think this is like 3/4 of an inch wide, and this is barely half an inch across. But look at the difference in the handles. I got big gorilla hands, so this big 5-inch blade barely fits in my hands. I've got, just a tad bit sticking out the bottom. This, my big monkey hands swallow this thing, but...
Not for me.
But, in a high-speed, low-drag, hoo-yah tactical situation, it's going to take you a second to get this out and get it into the fight, right? This right here, this weighs 7.8, 7.98 ounces. This thing is half a pound, this 110. This thing weighs like 4 ounces. It weighs nothing. So, in a fight, man, you can whip that sucker around like nobody's business. It's a spike in your hand. That's what it is. It's like a big nail in your hand. That is a beast right there. And you go, yeah, but it's not S30V steel. It's only 428 HC steel. It has the possibility to break on you. That's fine. It ain't gonna break in me. Catching my drift? Oh, it doesn't have a full tang. Yeah, it does. Tang runs all the way down here. You can see the little deal down here where the end of the tang is. That's full tang. Everybody thinks that a full tang means that it needs to be an exposed tang. There's a difference between a full tang and an exposed tang. Exposed tang means you can see the steel all the way down. That's exposed. That's for knife punks these days. Back in the day, we didn't know anything about exposed tangs. This is what we knew. This is a full tang knife. The tang of this blade runs all the way through, right to the bottom. Okay? So, knife snobs, shut up. This stuff's been around a lot longer than y'all have. So, knock it off. Alright? This is a full tang knife. Look at that. That's like an ice pick. That is vicious, man. Thin little blade. Actually, I think...
Poke, poke, poke. Poke someone.
It's the same thickness. I think the buck knife is like 2.5 mil. This looks the same. But just fitting in my hand, I can't say enough good things about the 110. Okay? But for a small knife, you can stick this little sucker in your pocket. You can hang this on your belt. You wouldn't even know this little dude's there. That's just a little brute, man. That is a little beastie. Skinning game, skinning fish, gutting fish, gutting a deer, whatever you got to do, this will get it done. Okay, and it's a real lightweight little package. All right, and it's got the black phenolic handles. So, like I said, the blade's 4 inches. The handle is 3 3/4. The handle is the same length as the 110 blade. So, altogether, you're looking at like right at 8 1/4 or 8 3/4 inch knife altogether. This is, I think, 8 1/2. Okay. All right. Buck 102 Woodsman. This is a good little knife. Okay. We're gonna break away and go to the next one. Okay. The next knife up on the list. All these knives that I'm showing you come with Buck's black leather sheath. I don't have them little Cordura pieces of crap. They're junk. If you got one of those, you have a great knife, but get rid of the crap sheath. All right, get the leather one. They're like 10 or 15 bucks. Come on now. If you can drop the money on the knife, you can drop another $10 or $15 and get the sheath from Buck. Okay? All right. The next knife. This one is the Buck 105 Pathfinder. Okay? I don't know why they call this a Pathfinder. This is basically the old 121 that was around in the 70s and 80s. Well, actually, it goes back to the 60s. The 60s, 70s, and 80s. This is a fishing knife. That's really what this does, but they call it a Pathfinder. Okay? All these have Buck's 428C. They've perfected that pretty well.
That is really sharp. I was cutting potatoes yesterday, and it was cutting it like it was nothing.
This is a 5-inch blade. Okay, actually it's 5 1/8. And the swedge that they have on this is not like a regular clip point. It comes down full length all the way to the very end, like an inch away from the end, and then it's a swedge. So to get this into using it for a deer would be a little weird to me. It'd be a little strange. But for a fish, this blade is long and it's thin. It's the same thickness as the other two knives. But the handle is just a hair bigger. Well, you can't really see it in my hands, but the handle is just a hair bigger. So it fits the hand a little bit better. 428C steel, 5 1/8 inch blade. This little hump right here so you can really get up and choke up. All these have a hollow grind. Buck does a hollow grind really good. Alright, now these knives ain't made for, going out in the woods and playing Dave Canterbury and all those guys. These knives ain't for that. You want to play Dave Canterbury, go find Dave Canterbury stuff. Okay? He will sell you his knives, I promise. Okay? That dude's he's a money maker, we'll put it like that. That's what I'll give him. He knows how to make money. Alright? So you see this has the black phenolic handle too. Pretty uneventful little thing. But this dude, Brennan just said it. This is dadgum sharp. This is a sharp knife.
It's like a fillet knife.
Yeah, it's a fillet knife. So the blade stock is already thin as it is. But being that it is already thin, down here on the edge, my God, man, it's like a dadgum razor blade. Okay, it just lays right through stuff like nobody's business. So, Buck 105 Pathfinder. So far we've covered the 110. Everybody knows the 110. If you don't have a stack of 110s, you need to go get a stack of 110s. The 102 Woodsman, now the 105 Pathfinder. Okay? Alright, we're going to get to the last one. Okay, we're down to the last knife. Now, keep in mind, this is by no stretch of the imagination like the end of Buck's the 100 series of knives, okay? We've covered the 102, the 105, there's a 103, there's a 117, there's a 118, there's a 120, there's a 124. I just don't have them. I'm not rich. If you would like to send me those knives, hey, come on. I'm always in the market. So, all right. Well, the other day I sent Staff Sergeant over Step 1 Survival one of these knives, and he did his little review and history on them. But this is my one that I've got. All right. It's the 119 Special, as usual. The nice leather sheath. You know what? Let's cover that a little bit on this one, Brennan. All right, these are Buck's leather sheaths that their classic fixed blades come in. Okay, it's real heavy leather. I think it's like 6 or 8 ounce leather. All right, the way they build them is actually really good. I mean, it stood the test of time. Your loop, this is the important part. Your sheath, you can put anything, but the loop, this is where they do it really good. They have 2 attachment points. They have one up on the upper. This is the upper piece. And they have a rivet down on the bottom piece. Technical difficulties, hold on. I'm throwing stuff.
I zoomed in on the floor.
Okay, very good.
Wait.
Right, carry on. Alright, and they've got it riveted down here. So there's a rivet down here, and it completely loops over and comes back down to the bottom. This will not fail you unless you get it wet, keep it wet, and it dry rots. Other than that, this will last you a lifetime and then some. Okay? Your great-grandkids will have this just for the sheath. Alright? This one's cool. It's marked with the 75th anniversary. Little logo thing there. Alright, let's get to the knife. 119 Special. This is the black phenolic handled one. Alright? And I think this one's Brendan's favorite.
Yeah.
Why is this one your favorite?
I don't know why.
You don't know why?
Some knives
Why,
I just
dude?
like.
It's just a beast, that's why. Brennan likes to cut potatoes and stuff with it because he says it's long. But this is a lot thicker than the other ones, okay? This one was actually designed back in the 40s, World War II. This, everybody knows the Usmc K-Bar, okay? This is K-Bar's direct competition, okay? This is it. All right, the Usmc K-Bar and the Buck 119. They're competitors. This right here saw action in all the major engagements of World War II all the way up through today because they've been making them since the 40s. All right, this one's marked with a little emblem thing there, 42 to 2017, 75 years. After 75 years of doing the same thing over and over again, I'd say it's well done.
Yeah.
That's a testimony to the quality that Buck puts out. All right.
Just got
this
blurry.
This one's got a 6-inch blade. It's got a 4 3/4 inch handle. This one fits my hand really good. All right. Actually, this might be a 5-inch handle. I think it is. I think it's the same as that 110. I think it's a 5-inch handle. But this is a brute. Okay. You cannot go wrong with this for doing whatever you need to do. Your little camp chores, if you're camping, or if you need to cut bad dudes, or whatever you need to get cut, this will cut it. Okay? Alright, now, this morning, I was sitting on the couch, and I was getting this out, thinking about me and Brennan doing a video about it tonight, and when I took it out of the sheath, we're going to do a little public announcement right here. When I took it out of the sheath, I cleared the sheath with it, got it over to my side, and God knows why, I dropped it. Dropped it. Everybody that knows anything about a knife, I've been around knives since I was 3 years old. Everybody that knows anything about knives knows. What's the rule, Brennan?
Don't catch a dropping knife.
Don't catch a falling knife.
I mean falling. That's stupid.
What did I do, Brendan?
Catch the falling knife.
Caught a falling knife.
And I did the same thing a day ago.
Yeah, well, zoom in on this sucker, Brendan.
Uh-oh. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, if you're squeamish, don't look. Look at that. Look at that. Cut into my stinking muscle. So, the moral of this story is, what, Brennan?
Don't catch a falling knife.
Don't catch a falling knife. Let it fall. Don't catch a falling knife, or you will cut your hand off. Alright, well, anyway, let's lay these beasties out here. There's the 119. There's the 105. You can kind of see the line out through them. There's the 102.
The handle size and the...
And there's the 110. Alright? Can you get the size? Here, step up here and kind of get the size lowdown on them.
The 110 is kind of like the big chunky knife?
Well, these two, this is Big Daddy, this is Baby Brother. This is its own little animal. This is God's gifts to knives. So, alright, there you go. Okay, back up there. So, that's the buck knife collection. It ain't much, but it's what I got and it's what I like. So, if you got something else, some other buck knives that you like, that you're collecting, I like these buck knives. You can't go wrong. They're all made in the U.S. These are all made in the U.S. Now, Buck has some stuff that's made in China, but it's not much.
Don't buy it.
And the way you get around buying buck knives made in China, read the label. They're American-made ones, have an American flag on them, and says, made in the USA. It's kind of idiot-proof. If it doesn't say American flag, America, you know, made in the USA, it's made in China. So.
Chinese.
What's their Chinese stuff? I mean, I guess it ain't bad, but
it's a lot worse.
It's made in China.
Nothing's good.
It's still no, that's not true. It's made in China. It's not. This is buck knife, made in America. That's where it's supposed to be made. Buck, if you're listening, stop it. There's nothing wrong with employing Americans here and keeping them busy. Let the Asian boys worry about themselves. We'll do what we got to do here. Keep buck knives here in America. Okay. Well, I guess we're done for today, so we're going to let y'all get back to it, and we tell them bye, Brendan.
Bye.
All right. We're out, y'all. Be good.